Hello Aquarius, this is your reading for the next 7 days from the 6th of September. I think we are today, or from whenever you come across this reading. It's a general reading. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Now Aquarius, I would normally, 85% of my subscribers are feminine, so that's who I would normally be reading for, but I actually do think it's probably reading for the person you're dealing with here with the King of Cups and the Knight of Cups. So probably a water sign, or at least someone who is pretty emotional, maybe even in love. So your energy this week is the scribe, preserving knowledge and information. So it might be a week where you either maybe even receive communication from this King of Cups, or indeed are writing. It can sort of suggest that you are maybe in secretarial work, maybe you're journaling, writing in your diary. It could be related to journalism, copywriting, accountancy. It is to do with writing, and logging information. This message, if it is related to a message that's coming through from the King of Cups with the Eight of Cups in reverse, so I kind of feel this might be someone coming back around again with the whip here. This is about repetitive habits almost. It can also be about debates and arguments and aggression. But the Eight of Cups in reverse, this is not having emotionally detached, quite possibly. So the King of Cups, oh gosh, Orpheus. This is your wounded healer in my Mythic Tarot deck. Yeah, he's a wounded healer. I mean, this doesn't need to relate to a person. It might be this week that you're actually getting information from a doctor, because he can represent a doctor or a therapist. He's very much the relationship counselor. It's someone who's very empathic. This is Orpheus. He's also a poet and a musician. The thing about Orpheus is that he had a very, very difficult time in love. His wife was assaulted, and when she was running away, she got bit by a snake and basically died. And he went to the underworld, and he was able to, broker his deal with Chiron, the ferryman, basically. And this Cerberus, the three-headed dog, he was able to get right down to the depths to save Eurydice and call her back. But it was on one condition, and that was that she followed him up listening to his music, and he was not to doubt that the outcome would be successful in terms of not looking back. He had to trust implicitly that Eurydice would be able to follow him out. And at the very last moment, he lost faith. So he has trust issues, does the King of Cups in this deck. And he does lose her forever. He's a pretty sad character. He goes on to do really wonderful things in terms of helping other people out. But the thing about the King of Cups is that he never actually goes into the water, He formed relationships, but relationships where he can still maintain control, to avoid the past hurts that he's dealt with, and normally to do with childhood issues, aren't they all? So he's someone who has a huge empathy for the human struggles in general, and yet he himself is pretty uncomfortable with human contact here. So that might give you an idea of who you're dealing with. So obviously, Aquarius, this could be your energy. It does not feel anything like the Aquarians I usually read for, but it could be. So here is Orpheus. So someone may be coming back with the Eight of Cups in reverse, or maybe, reaching out, especially with the dragonfly here. The dragonfly is about things coming to light. It's also about change and healing. So if they have left you in the past, or you've split up from them, whatever it may be, fit it to your circumstances, there is some sort of communication coming in this week. I did check because I didn't know if it was a male or a female I was reading for. So I've got my man from my Lenormand deck with the stars and the whip. The stars is about clarity. So yeah, I really do feel with the dragonfly and the stars here, there might be some clarity coming in as to how your person is feeling. If this is someone you're still in connection with, this can be the hopes and desires, you know. But it can, I just feel it can be, it's also things that a lot of, there might be a lot of arguments. You may have had a lot of arguments with this person, because the whip can be just about things coming around, but it's a really aggressive card. This is someone who's very determined to get what they want, you know, their hopes, their wishes, desires met, but it will be on their terms. And that's why the golden mirror here is a little bit concerning, because this someone is self-absorbed, narcissistic, love bombing, and a one-sided relationship. I do often see the mirror as more of a reflection of our, you know, seeing our shadow side, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, there might be a little bit of a red flag in here, especially with the whip. So yeah, I don't know who's who here, but I've got the ego with the Three of Pentacles in reverse. The ego is about seeing things from a higher perspective. The ego, you see what I mean? It is ego. This is someone very determined to have their desires met, and it can come from a place of ego. It is about moving beyond limitations and seeing things from a higher perspective, but it is also about getting our needs met. And it can, that desire, that ego, can be what actually blocks our intuition. And I don't know if this is how this person is actually going to approach you with the whip. It's quite possible. So this can be you, obviously. But the Three of Pentacles in reverse is things not working out. Is this not being prepared to work with other people? This is my way or the highway. Sometimes it can be work related for some of you Aquarians here. This is not wanting to get involved with other people with the Three of Pentacles. This can be, you know, office politics, sloppy craftsmanship. It's just wanting to be very singular, very independent. And this is with the Scythe and the Ring. So there has been like broken promises here. This may be what this communication about, or it's a broken contract. There's something getting cut out here. It actually feels ambitious is too hard a word. It's almost abrupt. And yet to come from the King of Cups, that's kind of weird. It's like they want to be the King of Cups and they want to be soft and emotional and open, and yet they have to maintain this element of control. And that's probably why things are, you know, possibly going to crash and burn, that you're not going to be able to collaborate with this person on. It might be work, in all honesty, with the Three of Pentacles here. And I'm conscious that my ego is heading towards my Raven here. I often do see the Raven as more feminine. The Raven is release the old and rest. So with it being autumn, it is a timeline indicator. So, and we're literally just there. So this is something that's obviously happening very, very soon. So it is about releasing any sort of pressure, expectations that have been weighing you down, just shedding something and moving on to a time, you know, of renewal. And again, it does suggest there's an opportunity to heal. So there might be a relationship here, or a work situation, and there is an attempt to bring healing into whatever it may be for you. And I do have the Knight of Cups with the Eight of Swords. I don't know. This is... The Knight of Cups is your love offer, obviously. This is Perseus. He came up yesterday in one of my other air sign readings as well. Perseus is just a lifelong romantic. He's always looking for love. It's always round the next corner. It's never quite perfect. He never gets past the honeymoon stage. And I kind of see that might happen again here. Or maybe if that's what your experience has been of this person, of this relationship, this indeed could be you that's creating this block, because you think it's going to be a rerun, especially with the whip here. And the Eight of Swords is what keeps you sort of stuck. You might be keeping the Knight of Cups stuck in terms of, you know, reaching out to you. But it is someone who's who's very fearful of the consequences of their actions. But there also is, with the Eight of Swords, this is Orestes, it's knowing that whatever the situation is currently, there is a realization that you've created this own dilemma. And there is a fear of confronting the situation, because you don't want to hurt people. So there's a need here to be, truly honest and face up to the situation, because otherwise you're just left in a state of paralysis, a state of bondage, because it's an incredibly difficult position for him. He's frozen here. He's trying to fend off this moment of decision, this moment of a choice where he has to go in one direction, because there's painful sort of consequences in either direction. It's a bit of a lose-lose situation for him. And I've got the Lovers at the base of the deck as well. This is clarified with the Cross and the Fish. It just can be a lot of burden. It can be someone who's burdened by money, and there may actually be alcohol involved here. I've got the King of Cups, the Eight of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and the Fish, which can indicate alcohol as well. But this is some sort of life lesson. This is karma. This is a trial. This is a real challenge, this Cross, to break through the Eight of Swords and try and release whatever has gone down in the past and move into a higher perspective. Just change it up entirely. But with the Fish here, it can suggest that it's to do with money or business, trade. Might be some worries that that might be sort of thrown into the mix here with the Three of Pentacles. So in a nutshell, Aquarius, it's hard to read this one because I kind of feel it's more coming from your person than you, but it doesn't have to. You'll know your circumstances. It does seem to be someone who has very high hopes to, get things back on track. But I think because there's been broken promises here, and I don't know if it's maybe their approach is going to be, as I say, it's the ego is like, he's like the predator, coming in here. It just feels like the approach is possibly wrong in terms, but that's the thing with Orpheus, is that he has to maintain an element of control because he thinks he'll be submerged in the waters of emotion and utterly lose himself, and that's a huge fear for him. But it is ultimately that lack of trust that lost him his wife. So I'm just going to take you some advice for the next 7 days, see if it relates to the reading for Aquarius. What advice does Spirit do have for Aquarius the next 7 days? It just doesn't feel like it's like an easy, relationship or an easy conversation. The Five of Wands is under the Lovers here, so there's just a lot of conflict, usually internal conflict, either you or they. Aquarius, what advice can you offer Aquarius for the next 7 days for this reading? Advice for Aquarius regarding this situation in the next 7 days. Advice for Aquarius next 7 days. Yeah, oh gosh, guilt. I see this as the block, this Eight of Swords, and the dissipating card is about procrastination. This is about someone who lacks planning and don't necessarily follow through. They're sort of guilty of running in circles here. And with Enlightenment in reverse here, that it's not getting the, it's not really seeing things as they truly are. Kind of like choosing to exist in not necessarily an alternate reality, but yeah, maybe it's making up a story that suits your actions. I do honestly think the Eight of Swords is the block here. I mean, in tarot, you're picking up in intentions and thoughts and emotions. It doesn't necessarily translate into action. I think there is a desire here to reach out. I think there is a very strong desire to, yeah, to reach out, to have a conversation, to come clean, but I think the blocks here are quite substantial. And I think they're going to keep, you know, put it off for as long as they possibly can. Maybe they're waiting on enlightenment, I don't know. Why is enlightenment in reverse for Aquarius's reading? That's the Knight of Cups again. I don't know. What does he need to know? Okay, so this is someone who thinks that, I'm assuming that you're the Queen of Wands here, or maybe, you know, it could be someone else. It's Queen of Wands reverse for Aquarius. There is a fear of rejection here, that things are not going to go to plan. That it's also a fear that they're not going to be able to follow through on any sort of promises they make here. With the Knight of Wands in reverse, he's completely unstable. He is impulsive. I mean, again, there is a desire from this person's point of view to be really stable, really confident, independent, and come forward with a solid offer. But I think they continually put it off, because they may be fearing rejection, they may be fearing your reaction, they may think you're going to be hot-tempered with the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands reverse can be very hot-tempered, very sassy. She can be... What is she? Angry. Yeah, angry. Unsympathetic even to whatever they have to share with you. They literally think they might be shot down in flames here for whatever's gone down, you know, Ten of Cups reverse. So this is obviously, you know, a broken commitment in the past, broken marriage. But it's a lack of fulfillment. So that's it. Honestly, Aquarius, this is kind of what's going on behind the scenes. I think this person will continually put this off until, you know, the next lifetime even. I don't know, but I can't see it happening, because there is a kind of fear here. Yeah. Okay, Aquarius, that's your reading. I hope you find it useful. Have a super week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.